When getting into steeper terrain, cornices kind of start to become a part of the equation. They are amazingly beautiful pieces of snow shaped by the wind, but they can be extremely tricky and dangerous. So let's start with a few facts. Cornices are formed on short ridges and then formed with like average winds, which is gonna take the snow and put it up on the ridge. And when they fall, they do big damage. One thing to bear in mind is that the shape of a ridge will affect the size of the cornice. It's really important to take a huge margin of safety with cornices and not play with it. When they break so suddenly that there is absolutely nothing you can do. It's really hard to tell where there is a cornice and where you're actually on the actual ridge with a good ground. So it's pretty easy to just walk on a cornice, fall through and go all the way down the mountains. And depending on what's below, it could be fatal. Quite often, below a cornice, there will be a big wind slab waiting for you as well. Cornices, when they get formed, they can create a bit of a crack, some kind of a crevasse behind the cornice. That crevasse is usually covered by just a little bit of snow, so just a tiny snow bridge, and it's quite frequent that people fall into them. They seem gigantic, and it always seems that your little weight might not really affect much of the stability of the cornice, but it can. So when there is a big temperature rise, it will trigger a lot of cornices, and you need to take that into consideration. The biggest cornice break I ever witnessed was in Alaska on this glacier, when basically all the cornice line of the mountain fell down and broke all the spine walls all the way down, so it ripped the whole face. If you have to be under the cornice, try to be as quick as possible, and as much as you can, try to hike or tour in protected areas. Approaching from behind, you can't really see where the cornice is, but here I've got good indication with the rocks, so I know I can move all the way till the rocks. That's always the way to go. And if you can't, you need to put the rope. Like here, I suspect there would be rocks, but I can't tell. But I know that in the line of these rocks, for sure there will be some. I take a bit of a wide march. Oh, and here I am. Ah, it's a tiny cornice. If you're not sure, if you can't see any of the natural ground, a good technique is to probe. And if none of these techniques are possible, there's always the technique of putting a snow anchor into the snow, getting roped up, and go and check the cornices. That way, if it breaks, you won't fall with it. You will be hanging with a rope. Cornices are to be taken super seriously with a big margin of safety. There are a ton of accidents that happen with cornices, and that could be easily avoidable. So next time you're on a ridge, think about it, keep that in mind, be safe and enjoy the ride.